Sam Morris. I'm here as a Joola sales rep, but the main thing they sell are paddles. Ben Johns, #1 player in the world, best player, the GOAT, and Simone Jargin, also the GOAT on the women's side. I'm going to start with this beauty, is the Radius. Eric White Joola Megalodon. Extremely soft, it's pretty thick at 16 millimeters. It has a carbon grip surface for this one. See, the handle is pretty short. It's a rounder paddle. It's great for resetting and controlling. On all the Joola paddles, you can see they have a colored Joola logo, as well as the surface type, which is carbon grip surface, and the thickness of the paddle, and then the name of the paddle up here. Next in line are these two paddles. These are the Solaire, which is a wider, longer handle. As you can notice, this logo is yellow. So that's a quick and easy way to tell that this one is not 16 millimeters, it is 14. So it is a little thinner in terms of its width. Right. It still has this has carbon friction surface, which is their newest, best quality surface. Same as the Hyperion on the Ben Johns version. This is the Swift version, which means it's a little bit lighter with the same overall paddle, which will give you a little more quickness in your hands. I started using this one after using the Hyperion, and I really like it. I think this wider face gives you a little more room for a sweet spot. That longer, skinnier one has more of a sweet spot on the top versus here in the middle. So I've been trying to use this one a lot. I like it. 14 millimeter yellow. This has the carbon friction surface. This is a Hyperion. It's the new version. It's just a 14 millimeter thickness. So it'll have a little more pop, a little less touch. I think the best looking paddles are these Simone versions. So these Simone versions, as you can see, there are two with the kind of turquoise color. That means they're both 16 millimeters. The difference is that one is Swift, right here, and one is not Swift. So this one, the Swift version, is just a little bit lighter. And then they have the same thing, but 14 millimeter. This one is the Swift version. So you can see these purple grips that I have are just Torna grips. This one's kind of worn down, so I'm going to re-grip it. So I'm going to start by taking off the little shock absorber. Some people don't even like this thing. I like it. I've already gripped this one myself, so I'm just going to find where the tape started from before, and then just peel it off, just turning it around. Comes off pretty easy. You can see there's a little residue from this old one. Throw that in the trash. Alright, so this is the stock handle. It's pretty thin. Some people like these little ridges. I don't really have a preference. I have my little bag of to-go stuff. Who knows what's in here? We got plenty of Torna grips. So we'll take one out, get some tape, have some little scissors in here and lead tape to mess around with. I just bought a little roll of lead tape. So I'm gonna try a little bit of weight in the handle and just see how I like it.
And peel off the plastic. For a right-hander, you hold the paddle in your left hand, I use my thumb to kind of hold it in place. I like starting on the little edge right here, like the short edge, and then pulling it tight as I go around and trying to make sure it's even at the top. Then once I've gotten it tight, I like putting a little thicker handle on the bottom. So I wrap it a couple times, and then I start working my way down, holding it with my left pointer finger, and working my way down, and trying to almost follow the ridges of the under grip. So I leave that on, because I do like a little bit of the softness that it provides. As you can see, this handle is super long, so this one single grip didn't even cover it. Take some electrical tape, put that over one time. So that's the first grip. And I could leave it like this. Some people like that thinner grip. You could put one more on though. Again, I'll just start it something at the top. Short end, put that down. Make sure it's a clean start. And just work away a little faster than the first time, because I don't need extra thick on the bottom. So I'm just aiming for right over the previous turn. And then as you can see, this one I'm going to wrap all the way up. So you can see I cut this little bit just so it can roll over. Maybe a little more.
So you can see this is a little thicker. I like having it to kind of grab onto if I need extra reach. But then usually I hold it so that my pinky's on top. And then my defensive grip, this. I have my finger on the back. Sometimes I use just the left hand like this. Almost never a backhand, but I just use a forehand. Usually forehand, I'm gripping it over a little bit so that I can protect this kind of weird area. And just push like this motion versus this motion. So it's more just blocking and pushing, resetting. Right? Then if I feel like so from here, I'm going to be locking, I'm going to turn my hand this way and get my hand so that I can roll my forehands more easily. And then the backhand is hard to get on top like this, so that's when I go back to my more defensive thumb behind, knuckles on top. Right. Strong here with two hands, come up with one hand and extend. Most of the time though, just sitting in here tight, just little blocks, controlling the paddle, trying to keep the paddle slightly open and cutting under the ball softly. And then as I attack, instead of cutting under, I'm going more start under, tip down, and then coming through the ball. And that's why this grip change, right, allows more of that whipping. So if you think about like a frisbee, your thumb is going to start down and then go towards where you want it to go. This thumb's down towards where you want it to go. So it's extending and getting behind and under the ball and then flicking it and rolling it towards where you want it to go. Again, it's this motion, extending through with that paddle under the ball.